What Facebook ad strategies are working right now? Wow, so a lot has transpired in the last year, which is why in this video, I'm breaking down my roundup of the best Facebook ad strategies 2021 edition so that you can take advantage of all the tactics and use them in your own campaigns. Also, at the very end, I'll be sharing the #1 lookalike and custom audience that is just crushing it across the board right now. And I expect it to continue to do well throughout 2021, especially in light of the recent changes rolled out as part of Apple's latest iOS 14 update that limits Facebook's tracking of users' data. But more on that later in this video. So before we get started, I'd appreciate an early thumbs up because I know you'll get a ton of value out of this one. And if you're new, please consider subscribing because I'm always releasing new videos with the latest tips and strategies to help e-commerce brands like you navigate the social media marketing landscape. So let's not waste any more time and dive right in. #1, we have super broad targeting. Broad targeting is when you rely entirely on Facebook to find your customers for you while only applying a demographic filter using location, age, and gender, and without using any interests or behavioral audiences in your targeting. Now, I need to mention that this works best when you have a lot of data on your pixel. But broad targeting is something that I absolutely love using and that I've deployed on almost every account right now. It's particularly great if you are scaling aggressively because it allows you to find customers that you otherwise would not have known about from using interests or behavioral audiences due to those specific parameters. Now, when choosing your creative, it's best to take your winning ads and avoid using creatives that you haven't tested yet. So if you have, say, 3 winning ads that are proven to work with your lookalike or your existing customers, use those same ads and target a broad audience and you'll see the best results. Next, we have carousel ads, which is a hidden gem. These get a ton of engagement. A recent study shows that carousel posts get 20% more engagement than single video or image posts. And the engagement rate is even higher when you use all 10 slides in your carousel. So the more slides you have in your carousel, the better because it piques curiosity and makes people want to swipe through them. And if you really want to push the envelope here, pro tip, mix videos and images in your carousel post to get the highest possible engagement. When you tell people to swipe through the slides of your carousel, that boosts engagement even more. And not to mention, this is a great way to appeal to different customers within your audience by giving them options. I personally have been seeing way more carousel ads in my feed than ever before. I often see ads for movement watches in my feed. I mean, I do research on their website one time and now I'm being targeted forever. But I particularly love that they show me the various different styles and ways to style their watches in their ads. After all, not everyone is going to like the same things, so why not show off a bunch of your best sellers? Like if I see an ad for a silver watch, but I don't like silver watches, I'll just scroll past it. And especially with how competitive the ad space is on Facebook and Instagram these days, it's super important that you have an ad that stops the scroll in someone's feed. If I see that there's a slide of options, I'll stop to swipe through it because the chances are higher that I'll see something that I actually like a black watch. And what's more, Facebook will automatically rearrange the slides in your carousel for you to optimize for the best performance. And this is a huge advantage of using carousel ads because you can appeal to a lot more people than a single image or video. Also, before we get to the next strategy, I want to quickly invite you to book a free strategy and discovery call with me. If you're an e-commerce brand and you've been running ads for a while and are looking to scale, or you're doing at least $20,000 a month in sales, either organically paid or both, my agency has a track record of getting incredible results for clients just like you. On our call, we'll review your ad account, I'll audit your account and give you my personal recommendations on how you can optimize your campaigns and give you tips on how you can improve your overall digital marketing funnel to drive more sales. In the last year alone, we've scaled a boutique cosmetics brand to over $1 million annually with an average return of 13. Some of our clients recently hit new milestones from 50K a month to their first ever six-figure month. So if this is something you'd be interested in, click the link in the description box below to book a call with me because I would love to work with you. Next up, we have video ads. This is definitely a trend that has driven incredible results during 2020, and it's a trend that will continue for 2021 and onward. As the ad space becomes more competitive, you really want to make sure that you're putting out your best content so you're not wasting ad dollars. You want to create ads that make people stop the scroll, video ads, anything with movement, including GIFs. GIFs are so hot right now. Just make sure that you don't use something that is copyrighted because that's a legal situation that is just not worth getting yourself into. If you struggle with coming up with high quality, high converting creatives, I'll talk about how you can improve your creative process in the next section. You could also do user generated content, candid videos that are less polished. So rather than a professionally shot video, I'm talking about those selfie style videos where you or someone is speaking directly to the camera. So ads that resemble organic content, especially in Instagram stories placements, absolutely crush it. Power 5. Now, I saved the best for last, and Power 5 is a killer strategy that I haven't talked about in any of my other videos, and I actually can't believe it's taken me this long to bring it up on my channel, but I'm going to share it with you today and tell you exactly how you can implement it for yourself. So, what is Power 5? Power 5 is Facebook's internally recommended best practice for how ads ought to be structured to deliver the best results, and it's made up of 5 core components: simplified account structure, auto placements, campaign budget optimization, dynamic creative, and auto advanced matching. So let's talk about what each of these mean, starting with simplified account structure. Simplified account structure basically means that you should keep your campaigns within your account as simple as possible. Too often when I'm doing consultations or account audits, I'll see 34 different campaigns and 45 different ad sets within each of those campaigns. This is a really messy and complex structure, and that's not what you want. So let's talk about what a simplified account structure looks like. First, you want to have one campaign for each type of audience you're targeting. So you would separate out your top, middle, and bottom of the funnel into their own campaigns. That means one campaign for cold prospecting, one for your middle of the funnel prospects. These would be your warm audiences, and one campaign for your bottom of the funnel retargeting. Rather than having a ton of different campaigns and a ton of different ad sets within each of those campaigns, which would obviously be a nightmare to manage, using a simplified account structure is going to reduce overlap, save you time, and allow Facebook to optimize your budget faster and more efficiently. Now, to take it one step further, this is what the structure looks like. Facebook recommends one campaign, 3 to 5 ad sets within that campaign, and 5 to 6 ads within each ad set. Remember, keep it simple. Next, auto placements. As part of the Power 5 strategy, you want to use automatic placements. In general, this is something that is working a lot better than manual placements. The thing with Facebook, as you will find, is that it likes when you give it options. So I've often found that when I restrict the placements to where I want my ads to run, the performance is not as great as when I use auto placements and allow Facebook to spend my money based on where the algorithm can find the most opportunities. And almost 100% of the time, Facebook does a fantastic job of allocating my budget. I have never seen a case where it spends like 50% of my budget in a placement like Audience Network if there hasn't been any conversions there. So the media spend is always proportional to the placements where I'm getting the best results. So case in point, I trust Facebook's algorithm to spend my budget efficiently, and you should too. Campaign budget optimization. So I've mentioned CBO in my previous videos, and by itself, CBO is insanely powerful, but when you use it in conjunction with the Power 5 strategy, it takes things to a whole new level. And the fact is, CBO is just crushing it everywhere. Some accounts that I manage are running exclusively CBO campaigns because one, we're scaling, so we're spending thousands of dollars a day, and two, they just work way better than ad set budgets at driving conversions. So a quick recap, if you don't know what CBO is, it's simply setting your budget at the campaign level rather than at the ad set level and giving Facebook the ability to automatically allocate your spend across the different ad sets that are performing the best. So instead of having one campaign with 3 ad sets, each spending $50 per day and each ad set getting the same amount of spend, a CBO at $150 a day will spend $100 toward your best ad set, $30 to another ad set, and $20 to your third ad set. So you get the maximum number of conversions across all 3 audiences. So that's pretty basic math right there. CBO is awesome. Dynamic creative, another fantastic strategy to test different creatives and ad copy efficiently. I've also talked about dynamic creative in my previous videos, and boy, do I love dynamic creative. This feature is super hot right now and it's doing really well. So if you struggle with producing high converting creatives, dynamic ads is something you definitely want to try. It eliminates the manual effort of creating a bunch of different ads because you can just plug in a bunch of different visuals, ad copies, headlines, and descriptions, and Facebook will then create various combinations using the options you provide. So whether you have a long form video, a 50-second video, a GIF, or a photo, Facebook will take your different options, automatically generate and deliver high-performing ad combinations that are optimized for each person. So if you're someone who typically clicks on video ads, Facebook will deliver all the video options to you based on your behavior. Now, this strategy can tend to take a bit more time before you see some traction because Facebook is putting all these combinations together. And I spent about $50,000 split testing this over the last 5 months. And I think I have the perfect formula for you. This particular combination is where I am seeing the most success across the board. So you want to max out on the 10 media options with 5 static images, 3 videos, and 2 GIFs. Then you want to use 2 copy variations. I've tried 3, 4, and 5, but the magic number there is 2. And I recommend taking copy that has been proven to convert. So take your best 2 copies and put them in your dynamic ads setup. Then you want to use 2 headlines and 2 call to action buttons. So learn more, download, sign up, shop now. 2 of these work best. So if you want the exact formula that I use for dynamic ads, this is it. And the last thing before I move on from dynamic creative, I absolutely love how evergreen and low maintenance it is. I can set up a dynamic ad and let it run for weeks, sometimes even months without needing to edit it. Pro tip, you want to use your best creatives and copy when using dynamic creative and you'll see it outperform all your other ads. I also highly recommend using dynamic ads in your retargeting campaigns. I will always set up retargeting using dynamic creative and it performs amazing. The last component of Power 5 is auto advanced matching. This is a setting that you can turn on, which allows Facebook to better match its users to people who land on your website. So it uses customer data like email addresses, phone numbers, and other identifiers that customers input on your website, hashes that data, and matches it to users on Facebook. When you have this setting enabled, you'll see more conversions attributed to Facebook and a bigger audience size, which helps Facebook find more opportunities to drive better results with your ads. So if that was too confusing, let me explain it this way. Let's say someone clicks on your ad and scrolls through your website, but they don't convert or make a purchase. Then a day goes by and they return to your website, but this time it's not directly from your ad. And this time they buy something. They enter their name, email address, and phone number when checking out. And using those identifiers, Facebook will match that customer to the right person on Facebook, and that purchase will be attributed to your ad, even if it didn't occur directly from clicking on your ad, which means that your campaign will still get credit for that purchase, thus increasing your number of conversions. So yeah, this is a pretty big deal. If you haven't turned it on, you absolutely should, because your campaigns will perform way better. Okay, so my last strategy, as I mentioned earlier in the video, is a lookalike audience that is just crushing it right now. And that is a lookalike of Facebook and Instagram engagers. Now, I believe part of the reason that this audience has been so successful lately is due to the recent changes rolled out in Apple's iOS 14 update, which limits Facebook's ability to track users' data. And that obviously impacts the performance of our campaigns and conversions. So the best way to describe what's happening with this change is that anyone with iOS 14 installed on their device is allowed to opt out of sharing their data with their apps, including Facebook. So that will be shown as a prompt that looks something like this. And I imagine that a lot of people will be opting out to not share their data due to privacy reasons and things like that, which limits the data that Facebook and we as advertisers can collect from our campaigns. So what does this mean? Well, Facebook won't be able to report on all the important conversion events that you've been accustomed to seeing and using to measure performance. And this is inevitably going to affect not only the conversions you see within the reporting of Ads Manager, but it's also going to affect your custom and lookalike audiences, since Facebook won't be able to accurately track every single conversion event like an add to cart or a checkout that occurs on your website. You are going to see smaller custom audiences in your retargeting ad sets, and similarly with your lookalike audiences that are using pixel data. I'm going to drop a link in the description box below so you can read more about the iOS changes, because I don't want to get sidetracked with this video. So why do I bring up this audience, lookalikes of Facebook and Instagram engagers? And why is it working so well? Well, these changes affect audiences that are using pixel data. So all of your lookalikes and custom audiences that are using add to cart and checkouts are going to be impacted the most. However, your audience who interacted with your Facebook or Instagram page will not be affected, because that segment does not rely on tracking from your pixel. So I expect that this custom and lookalike audience will become even more valuable going forward, and definitely one that you want to have in your targeting strategy. So that's my overview on Facebook ad strategies that are working right now and ones that you should definitely try in 2021. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or what strategies you're using that I may have missed. I always reply to every single comment. Also, if you would like to book a discovery call with me, just click the link in the description box below. I would love to chat with you to help you get amazing results with your Facebook ads. Now, if you learned something or got value from this video, please don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. As always, please consider subscribing if you enjoy the content on this channel, because I spend a lot of time making these videos for you guys. It would really make my day. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!